bring it 60 billion. Musicians stand up in the 50, bring it 60 billion. We want 60 billion, so big on a zero. We want 60 billion for people in Locato. We want 60 billion, see you once again, that's why it's not a shot. I'm fucking driving for my elite. So we are, bring our money back. My elite. So we are, we want our money back. My elite. So we are, bring our money back. My elite. So we want our money back. Fighting for control of where I was in the billion. That's what they wanted to pay with the 60 billion. Now make a daily minister for the 60 billion. Then you can tell us we not get no 60 billion. Now make it fun, go walk on me for 60 billion. Go walk for the limit. Stop for me, go walk for security. The flying will continue. My elite. So we are, bring our money back. My elite. So we are, we want our money back. My elite. So we are, bring our money back. My elite. So we are, we want our money back. Yeah. And see Carol, I'm saying bring our money back. Start as an individual.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander Galpohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Today is the 7th of September. We still have problems in America as our states and people try to recover from this past Hurricane Ida. It wreaked havoc on our mainland. And with all this heat, this inclement weather, people are going through difficult times. No food, no water, the heat, trying to clean up, thinking about rebuilding, looking for financial assistance from the federal government. All these things impact our people. And during this time, our poor President Joe Biden, just coming out of his Afghanistan problem, is being confronted with COVID-19, wreaking havoc in our country, especially for those people who haven't been vaccinated. Now you gotta get up and do this thing right, man. Come on, people. Come on, man. We can't afford this thing, man. Look at how many people getting sick or we're gonna die. Come to your senses, man. Please, take the vaccine. Get vaccinated. It ain't gonna kill you. It ain't gonna make you green. I ain't green yet. So let's get to the program, please. Secondly, weather, climate, conditions changing. We've seen it more and more. Now in a few more days, we got another hurricane coming this way. And we got to confront it. How would these people handle it if this thing hit the mainland again? People are still recovering. Some places haven't even got the electricity back yet. They're just trying to get it back. Then we're coming to be hit with another hurricane. So all this bad weather and changing weather is a problem for our president. Then we come again to this abortion issue. People trying to erode Roe v. Wade, trying to take the rights away from women to have control over their own bodies. This is where we stand in America today. And we look at my poor country, Liberia. We see the political shenanigans still going on there. The politicking, poor politicking, poor politicking. Right now, everybody's scared about what will happen in Liberia now that Guinea has a coup. And I don't want to deal too much with Guinea. I don't want to deal with too much with Guinea because all the coup happening in Guinea is another typical example of the failed leadership of African people and leaders. It is a necessity when people come and think that because we've been through war, our people don't want war no more, so we'll just do anything we want to do and get away with it. You can't. And it doesn't matter how long we've been out of war and whether we just came out of war or not. People will rise up against you. You can't do that. Then you all sit down here and talk about why there's no peace in Africa. Why coup d'etats starting again all over Africa? Why you want to talk about that kind of stupidity? And you'll see the kind of leadership we got. Right in Liberia, look at the kind of leadership we got. You got a group of bandits want to take control of the Liberian people, holding us hostages. Now, as I see it in Liberia, all these people, there's a handful of people. The opposition, they're all brothers and sisters living in a cocoon to the rest of us. Because our leadership can't just be so bad, so deceitful, and so evil. It can't be like that. So it all boils down to the same question, man. Do we have men and women in our country conscious of who they are, knowing themselves, and being proud of who they are? Do we have these people in Liberia? And when I look around me, that's why it's a need for me to raise the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts of Liberia. Because we need to breed men and women of integrity, not only in the school. Prepare them before they go to school. Prepare them while they're in school to life skills and understanding the survival needs of real men and women. Then you give our people reason to want to keep on going, to want to keep on living, to want to keep on pushing. But if you have nothing to present to our people and all they see is just dysfunctional BS all around them, the stealing, the killing, the corruption, the lying, the recycling of old politicians, and the people just complaining about nothing. There's no meaning for life. But when our young children got something to look forward to, God look forward to developing skills that make them self-sufficient, self-reliant, trustworthy to each other. These are the kind of things we need to build up in our people. And this is where my focus is, because our society is screwed. It is screwed. And the more our leaders demonstrate their inefficiency, their ineptitude, their criminality, it trickles down to our children. And our children looking at all these things and wondering, is this the right process of life? Is this how we're supposed to live? Because right now we have no examples of Toba. We have no examples of Tottenham. We have no examples of the past. It's been so many years, man. We've been through too many wars and too many tribalism, too many hatreds, and too many evils. Now we come today into this country. All we know is Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf and her uselessness and child stealing. and they are no example for good leadership. You know, a woman put all her children in our government, did nothing but rogues, all the stealing. Everybody just pointing fingers in Liberia. That all we're doing. That what Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf brought to Liberia, so let's deal with her now. Okay? My topics for the day are: 1. Ma Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf is Liberia's problem. 2. How viable and effective are the African Union and ECOWAS in leading Africa and West Africa? 3. Know thyself. So let's start with Ma Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf, because there is no way you can convince me that what we're going through today is not because of the woman. There's no way. And I don't want to be hurt. I don't want to sound like I'm hurt. I don't want to sound like I'm bitter. I don't sound like I want to, because I'm not that kind of person. I'm just a person of truth. And if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But you cannot kill people in 1980 for nepotism. And you see this mulatto witch doing the same thing with her children, got our country the way it is today, and nobody talking about it. Nobody say a word about it. People sitting there talking about how Ellen Johnson resurrected Liberia, and you know that deceitfulness. You know that's a damn lie. Because all of us sat here when Ellen Johnson told her destroy the mansion and our Billy back. We all sat here when Ellen Johnson said they came back to revenge for the past government, to clear the name of the people in the past. And what can that name declare? What can that name declare? The people give Ellen Johnson a clean slate. All the debt we owed, they withdrew it and trashed it and gave her a clean slate. And this woman just racked up the stealing, the corruption, and the nepotism. She put her son there. He bankrupted our oil company. Put the other son in the bank. They printed false money. And we're not punishing these people. You know how many millions and millions of dollars we lost because of Ellen Johnson children, foolishness, and her own corruption? And you see the part about it? We can't say Joe did us good in the past, so when he does bad now, we must forget about the bad and just think about the good. No, we can't. We can't. We live in a continuum. Everybody gotta follow the law and order from birth to death. That's the system. Nobody privileged. Nobody ride on the high hall. So everybody gotta pay the dues, man. Everybody gotta pay the dues. You see? And Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf has not paid her dues. She hasn't. She took all the responsibility of her duty of leadership. And yes, she did well to win her first term. But then she found the job was difficult. She found that there were a lot of obstacles to her own achievements. And all the people she brought to help her, they started leaving. Confusion in the government, misunderstanding between ministers, fussing going on. All these kind of things broke our system down. And Ellen Johnson didn't have the control to tell these people, stop the bullshit. She didn't have the power or the will to direct the people she put in power. Her own children. Her own children. doing things that were inconsistent with our laws and our practices of governance. What would you say about it, Kamsi? What would you say about it? So, when we look at the whole thing, Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf, it's a problem. And she's still in Liberia. She's still influencing everything in the country. Look at Ella Cummings. I was just listening to Obed talking about Ella Cummings and how he's a beneficiary of Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf. He's a protector of her wealth and resources. How she put him on Chevron board. How she put him on the International Bank board in Monrovia to protect all her resources. Then you got Costa go around saying that Ella Cummings got $100 million and all these things. And some people doubting it. Where do we stand on all these things? How does all Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf bring to us enrich our lives? They don't. Because all the things she brings corruption and nepotism and criminality with it. So it doesn't balance out. It doesn't balance out. She wants to help our country on one hand, then she wants to cover up she and her children corruption. And this is the problem with nepotism. When you do nepotism, you got to cover up for your children. Look at it. The son broke down our oil company. Who's going to pay for that? She took the responsibility. But yet, Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf got big buildings in South Africa. Hotel and complex and everything. And nothing in Liberia. So this is deception. This is the same old deception. I'm telling you, we look at all our leaders in Liberia. Who you can trust among them? You can't trust none of them. You can't trust Ella Cummings. You can't trust Belen Ayire. You can't trust Kanga. You can't trust Borka. You can't trust Wia. You can't trust nobody in Liberia. They all got baggages. They all got baggages. Omer Borka may not have stolen money outrightly, but he got baggage. He come with all the people that stole. So how everybody around you will steal and you so honest, and yet you're in the biggest position in the country? Does that make sense? It don't make sense. Because nothing changing in our country, nothing getting better or extremely good, but yet you're the president there for years and years and years. You have no record of criminality. You have no record of stealing, but everybody around you is a damn rogue. In America, we can invoke the RICO Act. Something wrong. Something got to be wrong. How everybody around there, one guy corrupt, and the guy not corrupt. Damn. Teflon. That's what they call it, Teflon guy. Nothing sticks. Everything is dropped. That's why we invoke the RICO law, the RICO Act. Tell her how you got so rich and law-abiding and peaceful, and everybody around you is a criminal. Everybody criminals. But you the shining light. You the only light. I mean, I'm not trying to knock Boca. I'm just saying. Okay? I'm just saying. There's a problem in our country. There's a problem in our country. And unless each and every Liberian realizes that that problem is impacting all of us personally, on a personal level, we'll never understand how our leaders feel and stuff is coming in. We'll never understand. And some of us, we're getting old, getting tired of teaching. We gotta chill. In spite of all the things we see around us, all the negativity, all the bad governance, all the bad leadership, all the bad national decision making, all these things come back to haunt us big time. So we wonder how you can haunt us when we have this Harvard graduate that came to change everything, came to put us on the right path, came to structure. Even if Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf didn't change our country, but gave us the insight, the encouragement, the initial footings to change our country. But she didn't do that. She didn't do that. And yet we are today. Our country still needs the basic necessities of life. We need the basic necessities of life. Food, clothing, shelter. We still need those things in life. But we got to grow up. We got to look at our different circumstances. We got to understand where we stand and where we want to go. We got to understand how to hold and why to hold our leaders accountable and responsible. And under no circumstances can they back out of this thing with some stupid excuse. Because we always have the bright and the brightest on them to question them, their behavior, their actions. So that's it for my first lesson. Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf needs to be held accountable and responsible for her actions in Liberia. And she can't get away with it. You can't kill our fathers and be a proponent in the whole process of 1980 coup. Ellen was in it. Whatever happened in 1980, Ellen knew about it. And from 1980, you come back and start a civil war that doesn't benefit our people, that kill all people, innocent people. Now you come back to say you come back to lead again, to give us good leadership. But this is where we are time and time again. So let me just leave that and let me move to my second topic. African Union and ECOWAS. Are these two organizations capable of maintaining and sustaining peace and stability on the African continent? That's the biggest question I want to ask these two people. Because these two organizations are made up of the same presidents and leaders of these countries that are problematic in Africa today. The same president from Liberia, the same president from Guinea, the president from Ivory Coast, the same president from Sierra Leone. All these people are proponents of ECOWAS and African Union. And these are the same people you expect to hold each other accountable and responsible. These are the same people you expect to put sanctions on each other. This club, this social club. Then we wonder why African nations and people are still stagnant, are still without development and progress, are still without advancement. One part of our city is not the whole city. One part of the country is not the whole country. One part of Africa is not the whole Africa. And this is the problem we're facing in Africa now. Selective justice. Selective justice. We say, oh, we can do this and we'll solve it. Oh, we can't do that because of this and that. Too many barriers all this time. So where are we going with this African Union and African ECOWAS thing? Where are we going? Is it just a money-making association for a few good men? Huh? When I see a man like Evan Snow in ECOWAS, and I know Evan Snow is a problem in the Liberian society, and he won't come and tell me that they are the people leading ECOWAS, can I have any faith in that damn organization? You take the same criminals from these countries, look at the same people elevating Samuel Twe, making him regional governor of this and that. These are the same criminals being rotated and recycled and run amok throughout Africa. So you expect for a man and man who suffer the Almighty every daily bread every day to come and rely on people? It's hard. It's hard. Now the typical example is Guinea. How do these people handle Guinea? They can't handle Guinea. Why? Because they screwed the whole thing up. They screwed it up. You gotta have one standard for every problem. You gotta approach every problem with one objective standard. You can't say you do this way in Chad, you do this way in Mali, you do this way in Ivory Coast, then you come to Guinea, your hands tied because you say it's parliamentary. You thought that it was going to be parliamentary. And you see, these are kind of these spectacle things that ECOWAS and African Union do that make people like us sit aside and see and say, no, these people are still useless. They have no direction. When you have a group of men wearing foreign wigs, it can't change it. Something is wrong. Something's got to be wrong. Because when the British people say don't wear their wigs, when they deal with international matters, and our people say come with their weak philosophy, there's a problem. On the continent of Africa, there's a serious problem when our leaders do not know themselves. When our leaders want to be the foreign people, when our leaders know many of them come to the power without anything and get rich overnight. So who will you prosecute? Who will you go after? With a thought in the back of your head that if you go after that person, when something happens to you, they're coming after you. Who do you go after? That's it. So when we come up to do all these things, to seek viable changes in our society and among our people, it's frustrating. It's frustrating. And it wears people like us out who've been in the struggle for so long, who've been in the trenches for so long, looking at African unity, looking at Organization of African Unification, Organization of African Unity, looking at African Union, looking at ECOWAS, looking at ECOMOG, looking at all the various organizations just popping up all over Africa that don't do nothing for the African people, that cannot solve our problems time and time again. So many men get stuck in the mix. And we gotta sit back and wonder what happened to our people all the time. What happened to our people? What's happening to our people? You know, people like us make sacrifices all our lives. We don't work in government. We don't trade our integrity and dignity for pennies and dimes and watch our country and people die. But how long we stay in the trenches? When we see all around us, the more we try to liberate our people, the more the rogues pop up. The more the rogues form organizations and get into a group and form concession agreement and all these things to free each other at the expense of our people. How many times? And yet they say ECOWAS and African Union, they are nothing but products of the destroyed African nation, of destroyed African nations. And that's why we go time again in the same problems. With corruption, with stealing, with foreign intervention, foreign control, foreign domination, foreign international community, this other community, everybody. And we have nothing for ourselves. And our leaders are just stooges of criminalities. Just teasing here and there. Look at all through Africa. Look at Ivory Coast. Look at Guinea. Same problem in Sierra Leone. Look at Liberia. Look at the same problem all over. And the organizations we depend on to make changes in our world and society, we got to question them too. We got to look at them with suspicion too. Because they are the same leaders in these countries that are causing all these problems. They are the same leaders. So when it comes sit down to discuss about Africa and free Africa and all of that, how can we trust these people? They come with their baggages, their religious dominance, their foreign ideology, their Commonwealth interests. All these things they come to African Union with. Then they expect us to decipher all these different idiosyncrasies and mess and find out what is good for Africa. It can't work. So until the African Union and ECOWAS get their shit together, ain't shit happening in Africa. Because the organizations that want to make changes in Africa cannot be the same organization infested with the same people that are problematic to the African survival. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. And ECOWAS and African Union, you need common policies for everything. You need one common policy to deal with shit the way you're supposed to deal with it. But when you flip-flop, everything in life, you flip-flop and flip-flop and flip-flop and flip-flop and flip, then you won't sit down and think that thing will just work out by itself. It can't. I listened to Spoon TV and the Dr. Nanti, I think they had there, talking about all the possibilities in the region and all that shit ain't working. African people got to check yourselves before you wreck yourselves. In each of your own countries, you got to be men and women of integrity, men and women of law and order, men and women of fairness and justice and loyalty to your country. And until all of that happens, you can throw African Union, ECOWAS, all the things under the bus because they're not viable to the African society. Let me go on my third and final point. Know thyself. Know thyself. Know who you are. Know your abilities, your sensibilities. What takes you? What you like? What counts you down? What's your philosophy of life? What's your philosophy of political engagement? And what's your what know thyself? What are you all about? And these are the essences of life we got to bring to our young children, the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts. Make them young men and women as kids to survive in the wilderness, to survive on their own, to be self-sufficient and stand up for justice and truth and law and order and reverence and courtesy, kindness, friendship, peace, love. Real peace, not for peace sake. Peace, love, friendship. These are values, right? Values that you take with you everywhere. That you take with you everywhere. And you don't put things on your shoulders to burden you down. So, know thyself. When you know yourself, then you know how to approach everything else. You know your distances, how far you can go, how far you can go. Is there a need to go far or further or to stop? When you become conscious of yourself, you know all these things. And you know your God, your destiny, your faith. The time of the Liberian people is now. So we can't look to Guinea and Ghana and all the places and be afraid of what happened in the country if our country is secure. And the only way to secure our country is through our courts. Fairness, honesty, justice. And the people will see and now want to lose that for a Babadi court, a Babadi system of leadership. But these are the challenges we face, you know. And when we look at military rule and all these things in Africa, how do these things impact our lives? You know, we see our leaders that can't produce. When they produce, they won't take half of it. Everything our leaders do for us, they want some of it back for themselves. No accountability, no responsibility. Then we forgive them. Everything for peace sake. No, it can't be like that. We got to know ourselves. You know you can't forgive everybody like that. Only God can do that. That's why we have divine laws. You want to be a priest? Go to church. You want to forgive, go to church. You want for peace, go to church. Stay out of the political arena. Because the political arena is not a place for church. It's not a place for family. Know thyself. It's a place for justice. It's a place for equality. It's a place of fairness. Because you see what happened in Guinea? It doesn't matter who bring you to the fray. Toba brought Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf. What Ellen Johnson-Sirleaf did? She betrayed Toba. Condi brought the man who was throwing away name Mohammed, Mama Ya, something. Dubai, I can't even pronounce the man's name straight because I just can't pronounce it straight. Dumbaya or some Dumbaya or something like that. He brought him into the prominence. And the man see that the leadership is messed up. The leadership is tribal. The leadership is not in the best interest of the people of Guinea. So what you do? What you do? And these are the challenges we face. And because we face these challenges on a personal level, they reflect on a greater level. They reflect on a national level. They reflect on an international level. And this is why Africa is having problems today. Because we got to know ourselves. You want to wear foreign wigs? Does it make you knowledgeable of foreign laws? Does it make you enough greater of a man than with all those foreign wigs on your head? Know thyself. Custom and cultural practices. Where do we stand on those? Are we Africans? Are we Americans? Are we Britishers? Who are we? Know thyself. Know thyself. We want to change Africa. How can we do that? Look at all the mess we're going through. We can't decide. Countries messing up, leaders screwing up, and the rest of the African leaders can't decide what to do because they're all buddies. But this is what it boils down to. Know thyself. My class is done. In the cause of the people, the struggle continues. In the cause of the people, the struggles continue. I will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, I see you. The time of the people, I see you tomorrow. Have a good day, my people. I see you tomorrow. I see